You are listening to the Earplug Podcast Network, a Fanboys Inc. production.
And welcome to the special edition of the Angrygeeks Show. You guys all know who we are. I am Louis Perry. And the road to Rhode Island Comic Con continues. Right now, we have a guest from a galaxy far, far away. So hard to nail down that we have to come to you right here on a Saturday, pre-recorded. So please, the comments are going to have to wait. Send them to us on an email. Send them to us through the video scope, if you will. And no, Jamie Dolan's not here because she's got to work. But without further ado, I'm going to bring in the hardest working man in a galaxy far, far away, Chris Bartlett, C3PO Zero from the Mandalorian. And can I say it? Can I say the new series?
What new series are you talking about?
Oh, come on. The one that's going to debut in 2 months?
Yes, Book of Boba Fett.
December the Book 25th. Of Boba Fett, yes. How are you?
Great, Louis. Thanks for having me. Thanks for...
No, thank you. Thank you. I told people we were having someone from a galaxy far, far away on our journey to Rhode Island Comic Con, and they were like, sure. So I'm telling you, I'm friends with him. I have his number. He texted me the day after he gave it to me. They're like, yeah, right.
I texted you several times saying, oh, man, I'm sorry I couldn't do it. I feel terrible. But I'm really excited to come to Rhode Island. Every convention I go to, someone says, are you going to Rhode Island? It's going to be huge. It's going to be an incredible show. It always is. So I'm really excited to be there to come in November.
Is this your first Rhode Island Comic Con?
Yes, it is.
Well, let me tell you, it is the Mecca. I mean, we met at Colorado Springs Comic Con, which is put on by the same production company, Alter Reality Entertainment. Same company, home of the Angry Geeks, sponsors the Angry Geeks. It compares to nothing. Rhode Island Comic Con is the Mecca. It is the #1 convention throughout New England. You're
wait.
going to have a blast. The guest list is just off the hook. You are there. It's amazing. You're going to have a blast. So, which brings me to my first question before we turn everything over to you. This show is about you. It's about Rhode Island. Have you ever? I mean, you started off as a fanboy. You started. You're a geek at heart. You began cosplaying. Have you ever, as you became a guest at conventions, have you ever geeked out or fanboyed out as a guest, over a guest, while you're sitting at your table going, as you're signing autographs going, I got to go meet this guy. I got to go meet this lady. Who was it? Tell me.
So I've worked with several people in a galaxy far, far away, and so I've gotten to meet those people and work with them at a professional level. At Colorado Springs was the first time I had a geek out moment, because what happened was I saw that this person was there, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to them. And so as I started walking over there, all of a sudden, all of my anxiety hit, like, oh no, what am I going to say? Am I going to say something that's stupid? Oh, what I should say something or ask them something that's professional or something. I just I started wigging out. So I turned around and walked back to my table. I'm like, oh, I gotta really figure this out, so I don't say something stupid or make it look like I don't know, psychotic. Anyway, the person it was is Jerry Mathers, who's the Beaver on Leave It to Beaver.
I could have brought you over to him.
I grew up. Well, let me tell you what happened. I grew up with that show. I love that show. I love the whole thing, Ward Cleaver, and I'm a dad. I have kids too, and plus I love that era. And so anyway, so what I did was I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it another time. I'll figure something out. So I went to the restroom, and waiting outside the restroom was his wife.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, hey, I could talk to her, and I won't be so freaked out. So I just said, hey, I just told her kind of like all the stuff that I wanted to say, and she said, he's such a nice guy. He's so humble and sweet. He would love to talk to you. And I was like, wow, great. And then he comes out of the bathroom. I'm like, oh no, I didn't want to meet him in the bathroom. So anyway, I just outside, we just talked a little bit, and then he said, well, come over to my table a little later, and we'll talk some more. So then I went back to my table, and I look up, and Jerry Mathers is standing at my table wanting to talk to me and hear more about my story. Anyway, it was just he's such a sweet guy, and it turns out he lives like 20 minutes from me, which is a surprise too. But anyway, that was the biggest geek out moment. I think, earlier in my career, probably maybe 20 years ago, I think, when I first met Anthony Daniels for the first time was my really kind of geek out moment, just because, we've all grown up with the character that he and George created in C-3PO, and to see him, in person, it was really cool, because I was actually suited up as a fan as C-3PO, and that was the first time I'd put it on at an event. So it was really neat to be able to meet him the first time that I did C-3PO. So that was cool.
Well, you do know Jerry Mathers is going to be at Rhode Island Comic Con.
I heard. Yeah, now we're old friends.
Yes, and it's funny. I'll be working with Jerry Mathers again. I'll be working with
great.
you again. Boy, you guys
Yes,
can't get rid of me. Jerry, a quick tidbit on Jerry. He is one of the nicest persons you could ever meet. His wife is just a dear. They paid Jamie and I such a compliment. One of the reasons why we're working with them again is because they requested us, and I was just floored. I was like, absolutely, let's do it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, you guys have such a great, you have great questions. I only wished that our panel in Colorado Springs was a little longer, because we had so much to talk about, and it was just it was great. You always have great questions prepared, and leading us into other things to talk about. It was really great.
That's the key word. You said prepared. We don't prepare. We seriously
we live this. Yeah.
We seriously we do. We are totally unscripted. We don't do anything. We don't prepare for nothing. We told Daisy, you're a con agent, and all the agents that we work with, even when we do Angry Geeks Live, which we'll get to in a little bit, we were discussing prior to hitting that record button. We like everything organic. It's because you were asked these questions a gazillion times. Right now I'm looking the right way. You were asked all these questions a gazillion times. So why do we want to ask you the same questions over and over again? Because it's boring for you. It's boring for our audience. We don't want to give you guys a repeat. We don't want to do that. We want to capture lightning in a bottle. We want things to be fun for you.
Yeah.
And we don't want it to, we want you to remember us. You know, hence Jamie's stage name, That Wonder Woman. We want you to remember her as That Wonder Woman. Yeah. We want you to remember me as that idiot. You know, that's what we want.
Nobody remembers you that way.
So you look at your phone, oh boy, that idiot's ignore. So that's what we want. We don't want to come up there as like the gum smacking Mr. Know-it-all, where in episode 4 of The Mandalorian, you were 0, but when you were coming off the razor's edge, you knocked your head. Do you remember that? You hit your head on that. No, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. We want to hear.
Yeah, I love detailed stuff like that too. So there's so many things. There's high level kind of thoughts and philosophies and experiences, or the way we approach roles and things. But yeah, there's funny little magical stories in all those little moments. I'll share with you today too.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is the biggest thing that you're looking for to Rhode Island Comic Con, besides hanging out with me again?
Yeah, well, my favorite thing is, my second favorite thing, first favorite thing is Lewis. Second favorite thing is meeting fans in costume. And, I always ask people if I can take a picture with them, because what I like to do is share those photos on my social media and shout and post a tag to them, because I love costuming. I love being in a costume. I love building costumes and playing characters, creating characters in a costume. Every character is a costume, you could say, but still, I really love meeting the fans, getting pictures with them, and doing action shots with them. If you see, a group of Mandalorians and they're just standing there, like, posing for a picture with their weapon or just with their hands on the belt or whatever, I like action photos, like we're going to do, cool poses and stuff to really show off the character of the costume that you built. It's a character. It's not just a costume that you just put on. So anyway, my favorite thing is seeing guests in costume. And so I'm really looking forward to that.
All right. Is there any of the guests that you're looking forward to seeing at Rhode Island? Have you looked over the guest list? Is there any
You know what?
specific guests?
I haven't looked over the guest list.
So he's cheating now for those of you watching through the video scope.
I haven't, but I will check.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, so I mean, we mentioned Jerry Mathers, but
yep. All right. You are a collector. You have some stuff that you're going to go through and go over. We're going to go over that in a minute.
Okay.
Now, you are always packed at conventions. At the last ARE event, which was Colorado Springs, your table was swamped. Jamie and I, the Angry Geeks, when we weren't on stage, we were perusing around, and every time we walked by your table, as you said, you had cosplayers, you had fans there taking photos with you, getting autographs. You were taking photos. The Mandalorian cast had a line. We could not even stop by just to say hi and thank you for your time during our panel, which is what Jamie and I want to do. Do you have time to shop? And if so, what are you looking for?
Oh, let's see. Well, you mean as like toys or props or something? I mean, I like
toys, props.
I like
what are you looking?
Prop replicas, especially the ones that are, not necessarily mass produced, but ones that are just made by artisans, whether they're on Etsy or something, they're just replicas. It's just people just made them, out of love. I was given, gosh, I don't have it here right now, but I was given a one of Mando's grenades, or it's like a something that he puts on the wall and it blinks and then it blows up. Anyway, one of the fans presented me with one of those, and it was really cool. So I like props. That's how I got into costuming myself, because I wanted to build my own prop replicas, and I think my first one was a Stormtrooper E11 blaster that I built from off the shelf things. This is in like 2000, the year 2000. Pipes and stuff at Home Depot, and trying to make it as screen accurate as I possibly could. So I love to find that stuff. But I also have something here that is something I never dreamed would ever happen. And that is getting my own action figure.
Whoa.
And so I was going to open it. I've never opened one before, and I thought it would be cool to see this in person. I've only seen them in the box. So do you mind if we do
Go
that?
for it.
Okay.
Go for it. Any hate mail, please, right now.
Yes,
the views expressed by Chris are not expressed by the Angry Geek Show. Though there are open action figures in the Geek Lair, please express all hate mail. Tell Chris yourself at Rhode Island Comic Con. Go to his table. Express your displeasure of him opening your action figure as you buy an autograph and picture from him at Rhode Island Comic Con. Go ahead. Go for it, brother. Open that action figure.
Yes, I grew up as an original fan in 1977. I was 7 years old. And, after the movie played, all we had was action figures. After we saw Star Wars, we had action figures. There was no word of a sequel. There was no TV show or anything like that. So,
we had that stupid holiday special, but it was cool for us.
Yes, it was, because we had more Star Wars. Yes, I was totally fine with that. I was totally happy. It was a little weird during the Art Carney part where he's like put the headset on and he's singing like the dancer and the singer and whatever. I kind of got a little lost there, but
we saw Boba Fett for the first time.
Yeah, that's right, Boba Fett, and seeing some more stormtroopers and Chewbacca's family. That was incredible.
Yes.
Anyway,
see, I'm 2 years older than you. So well, thank you. I try. Anyway, I remember the whole. That was something big for us. It was Star Wars. The Life Day celebration. It was so big for us that
Right.
it was all we had on NBC. That
Yeah.
was what we had, and it was cool. And then it went away.
Yeah.
Anyway, go
Well,
on with the presentation.
No, what I was gonna say is all we had was action figures, and so
Mhm.
I would take these action figures, I would play them to death out in, in this green shag carpet or outside in the backyard or wherever. And so we just make all these adventures with and your imagination is just going crazy with these figures, and that there were real characters. And so what's cool now about the Mandalorian is John and Dave have said this, is that everybody had Darth Vader, everybody had Luke, action figure. But what about like the power droid, or the also known as the gonk droid, or snaggletooth or hammerhead? Like we were making up stories with those too,
Mhm.
after Star Wars. And that is exactly what John and Dave are doing now with these kind of what they called fringe characters. But we're getting to see them in The Mandalorian and see adventures with these same kind of species or same kind of model droids and stuff. And it's literally like all the stuff I imagined as a kid coming true. It's really neat. So anyway, figures, I have a special place in my heart. Plus, I'm a dad. I have kids, and we would play with our figures. That's what they were for. They weren't for me. Weren't for hanging on the wall, because I wanted to see them and play with them. And so that's what me and the kids always did. So I'm opening my first Q90 figure. Look at the box. I posed for these images, the artwork here.
Beautiful.
And that was a really fun day to be able to do this cool photography. So he's embedded in the plastic here. I wonder if I can pull him out.
There's a trick. Use your two fingers, hit the bottom part of the spine, and pop it.
Oh, look at you. There we go.
I'm a professional.
You are a professional. Oh my gosh, he's so handsome. Look at him. Wow.
This
is so cool.
All right, now does it have that new toy smell?
I don't know. Yeah?
You don't know.
I guess, I don't know. It looks funny, me smelling
Because
it.
I do buy certain toys. I do buy two, so I can open up one and play with it. A lot of Superman stuff. So, and they do have that new toy smell. My wife usually walks in a room. What the hell are you doing? Nothing.
Nothing. Could so many things that could be happening there. Where's my oh well. Anyway, so the blaster was here. I'll use my forehead as a background. The blaster, when I remember when they handed me the blaster, it looked very much like Boba Fett's, and I was like, did you steal this from Boba Fett? What's the story behind this blaster? It's exactly like his. Anyway, they got everything right on this, like even down to these red and yellow wires that I had coming out of my arms. The thing about this character though is I didn't have anything from the belt down when I was in costume. I was just wearing gray spandex because the legs were...
All right, I was kind of scared there for a minute.
Sorry. Yeah, the legs were 2 feet. Actually, I had shoes, but I had Zero's feet, but I didn't have any of the legs here. So I looked really, really cool from the waist up as I'm walking around set, and then I come around the corner and I'm like, no pants on. That's what it looked like. So it was really, you have to be able to, as an actor, you have to be able to be okay with looking like a fool. And that's kind of how I felt at the moment. But anyway, no, he has such great, sorry, you can't see this. I'm articulating him into a cool pose. Great articulation. But yeah, anyway, so I never imagined in a million years that I would be able to have my own action figure, and one so cool as this guy. I love it. Anyway, also his antenna stays on. Mine kept getting knocked off because of the low ceilings in the Razor Crest. But
Now, how many of those do you have? Is that the only one, or you have in your collection?
I have two. One still in the package, and then I have this one that I just opened.
Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, I save them. You know, I'm saving it for maybe I'll give it to somebody or something. You know, as a gift. But anyway, yeah, that is cool. So you know, when you're building costumes, I don't know where I can put him. When you're building costumes as a fan, the dream for me was always, wouldn't it be cool if Lucasfilm saw the costume I'm building and thought, you know, that it looked good, you know, or what if they saw it and maybe they thought that it was like, you know, worthy enough to be, you know, used in a production or something. And then the ultimate dream would be, what if they saw it, thought that it was good, thought that it was worthy of being in a show or a production, and have me in it. And but of course that would never happen, because that's just a nerd's dream in working in the garage late at night building a costume. But that was always the dream, and I just can't believe, and I'm so grateful that it happened. Sorry, I'm still posing him because that's my life. I love it. Look at him. He's so cool.
Dreams come true.
Yeah.
And not only do dreams come true, but you put it out there for the universe, and the universe will answer. And I am so proud, and I am so proud and so happy for you. At times, I told you a secret that will be revealed at Rhode Island Comic Con, and I can't believe that secret for myself. I started this, two different co-hosts, with and prior to Jamie and with Jamie. And it was, I didn't expect, I started this as a joke, and now here I am. Here I am talking to C-3PO. I'm talking to Zero. I'm talking to someone from the Star Wars family.
Talking to Teacher Droid.
Yes, and I am. I put that back up.
Oh.
And we'll talk about that and what you did. I'm sitting there. I'm talking to you, and we had a text conversation. You called me, and I can't wrap my brain around that. You know, and it's just
we're both just human beings, Lewis.
And it's to me, it's a blessing every day. I mean, my wife is totally supported by it, and it's, to me, it's just it's cool. I'm like so grateful that you're spending your Saturday morning with me. It's just it's awesome.
Lewis, I loved meeting you in Colorado Springs, and when you said you're going to be doing Rhode Island, I was so excited because you know, like I said, I'm a geek. Maybe not an angry geek, but I'm a regular happy geek, and you know, I love talking Star Wars. You know, on set, John and Dave also just love talking about Star Wars. You know, like they'll come over and sit down and be like, not necessarily talking about you know, what this episode is about, but they'll just talk about like, hey, I wonder if this alien would talk in a alien voice, or if he would with subtitles, or if he would have speak English, you know, like, or what about, you know, Snaggletooth, you know, what's his backstory, you know, like they just like talking about this stuff. So I do too.
It's amazing. You know, I have to tell you, you and Misty during Colorado Springs Comic Con, Jamie and I were a little confused. It was during the after party. We walked in. Jamie and I are wallflowers. We go to the after party because, you know, it's required. We have to go there and say hi. Yeah. And we're sitting there leaning up against the wall, and we see you guys, and we wave, and we're sitting there. And all of a sudden, Jamie's like, they're calling us. I'm like, what? They're telling us to come here. I'm like, what do we do? She goes, we go over.
Yeah, no, we just wanted to hang out. Like I said, I like talking this stuff and hanging out with people who are like-minded. So, you know.
We have to take a 30-second break for people to pay our bills. When we come back, Chris is going to show us something exciting from the TV show. We'll be right back, 30 seconds or less. Angrygeeks Show. Brought to you by CH Square Collectibles, Comics Collectibles, and more. Magic the Gathering every Friday at 6 p.m. Located at 39 Wedgwood Drive, Suite 232, Jewett City. Comics, sports card, autographs, online sales. CH Square Collectibles, proud sponsor of the Angrygeeks Show. And we are back. Chris, you had said to me that you had something you wanted to bring on camera. You were wondering if our audience would be interested in seeing it. And I'm like, are you nuts? Are you crazy? My audience would love to see it. And it's probably on that side of your floor. And bring it on. Show it.
Okay.
Show it.
So this is from season 2. Remember, I played the teacher droid in season 2, where Grogu is taken to school and he's stealing space cookies from his classmates. I was in the front of the class as the teacher droid, and this is the actual part of the costume that I wore on the show. So anyway, this is, it's basically a protocol droid chest. And you can see what's funny is, see the gold trim there?
Yeah.
Is all gold chrome underneath. So if someone wants to make a teacher droid accurate, you've got to chrome it first and then paint over it. No, I'm just kidding. But that is the truth. And then I have the hand here that I was teaching the class with, and when I was using the tactical screen, as my chalkboard, where I was pointing to different solar systems and stuff. So anyway, I thought you guys might like to see that. This is some of the arms too. They're really beaten up here. So anyway, I worked with Doug Chang on that, and it was a really cool character, because it was the first time that we'd seen a protocol droid, I think, that looked like C-3PO, same model. But she had feminine programming, and so she was voiced by Elise. Oh man, I'm the worst. I can't remember her last name. I'm so sorry, Elise. We will put that back in.
Elise. Rechter.
In a little bit, I will get that, and I will say it again. Anyway, so
I'll just go over, and before I post this video, the people that just listened to this, you heard a different voice say the name. It was because Chris just texted to me. He said, and I just dubbed it over.
yeah, that's fine. So anyway, I just it was really cool to see another protocol droid, and it goes back to, remember, everything that we see on the show has this familiarity to it, because we've seen species or droid models like this before. The teacher droid is not C-3PO. Mm-hmm. Teacher droid is a teacher droid. It's a similar model, but different character. So you see different species on the show, or different models of droids, but they're not the same one that we've seen, before. They're just, like the child. The child is a same species as Yoda, but is not Yoda. And so anyway, that's the thing. The whole thing feels familiar, but is new, and so we get to see these new characters and new stories, and that's one of the things I love so much about this show.
All right, what can you tell the audience? I already know, we talked about it, but what can you tell the audience if they're looking for a teacher droid, especially the one that you just held up? Mm-hmm. What can you tell them about that so they won't go out and look for it? What's so special about? Yeah.
Well, this one I just painted myself. So this is
you go.
This is a 12-inch C-3PO. It's a really good sculpt, and his pose and everything is really great. And it's sorry. It is articulated and stuff. The legs are great because they're not super articulated, which makes it for a really good, stable, standing by itself figure. Anyway, so it's a red. This was a red arm C-3PO from The Force Awakens, 12-inch. I just got it on eBay, and then I just masked off some areas and then painted the whole thing and then weathered it, since I had this one for reference, to have my own teacher droid, because I don't know, they probably won't make a teacher droid figure, I guess. But
that's why I wanted you to put that out there, because I didn't want to get bombarded with emails or questions. Where did he get that? I want one. So I wanted to let's get that out there now. That is a one of a kind. eBay. You just said you got that off of eBay.
Yeah.
Did you let the person know that who you were that you bought it from, or no?
No, I mean,
no.
I don't usually say. By the way, no, I just bought it. Yeah.
I was just wondering, because I think a lot of times we at different conventions that we go to, different celebrities walk around and they would look for something, and vendors would like freak out because a celebrity is buying something for them, and they're like, it's yours, take it, and the celebrities would be like, no, I'm not doing that, let me pay for it.
Yeah. There was when I was in I think it was in Las Vegas, Vegas Unicon. I was there, and someone invited me to come over to their booth, and they had 3D printed a Q90 head that was he had like a full-size one, and then he had a kind of a smaller one, and he said, pick whichever one you want. I said, no, I would rather buy one from you. And he insisted, but I insisted on paying him, and because that stuff it takes time to make this stuff, and it was so nice of him to offer. So what I did is I signed his big one, and then bought the smaller one from him, and so I had that at my table there in Las Vegas. This was so cool and so generous and really sweet. Star Wars fans can be so giving, and have done so much good, both in charity, like with the 501st and other groups like the Rebel Legion and stuff. And so, I love makers, I love builders and costumers, and because, like I said, we're kindred spirits.
What's the weirdest thing? I'm not sure if this is one of Jamie's questions, and I can't remember if she asked this of you or one of the ladies during the panel. Mm-hmm. What's the weirdest thing a fan brought to you to sign? And I'm sure this is going to come up at Rhode Island, but I won't ask you this in Rhode Island. I'll make sure Jamie won't ask you this as well.
That's a great question. I haven't had any weird things,
Well, we'll take care of that at Rhode Island.
Okay. Great.
We'll take care of that.
Great. No, I haven't. I actually had really sweet, some really sweet things, like a young man. He was probably my son's age. I think he was probably 13. He had drawn a picture of Q90 and brought it to me and asked me if I would sign it, for so that he could have it. And then he had also drawn a picture of me, like Chris Bartlett, and then with the different characters that I had played. And then he did another one where it was my face, and half of it was Q90 and half of it was me. It was just so sweet and thoughtful that someone, especially a young person, had gone to so much trouble to and thoughtfulness to make that. It was really sweet. But I haven't had any weird things. But I'm sure Rhode Island will change that.
Oh yeah, you are. When it comes to Rhode Island, as I said before, Rhode Island is the Mecca. You are going to have a blast at Rhode Island Comic Con. The fans are like no other. To use the word "rabid" in a good way is
In the nicest way possible.
In the nicest way possible. It is just insane. The cosplay is off the hook. The
Awesome.
crowd is off the hook. The traffic is off the hook. It is the number one convention in New England. It's the home of the Angry Geeks. It's
so
going to be
excited, Louis.
3 days nonstop of just moving, going, where you don't have to be you until Monday. You're going to have a blast. And
awesome, man. Great.
You're going to see a totally different side of the Angry Geeks, a totally different side of convention goers and movers and shakers, and you're just going to have fun.
Oh, great. I'm so looking forward to it. I know Misty, the other cast members that are coming too, are really looking forward to it. And we love going together as a group, we're family. And so it's, we always have such a great time with the fans. You had asked me before, what do I like to collect? And I just remembered, I like to collect artwork. And so original artwork, and especially Star Wars related. And so some of those things are like, hand drawn, or maybe they're prints.
Okay.
This is something that that I have. This is the original. Well, not the original. This is a print, but this is the original concept art of Q90 by Brian Mattias, who is. This is the first image I saw when I went to do a screen test, or even a fitting for Q90. So I had no idea what he looked like. They just said, "Oh, it's Zero, and he's a droid." Oh, okay, cool. So when I saw this, when I walked in, I was like, "What? That is awesome!" I've played C-3PO for so long that this was I was so excited. Boba Fett, was one of my favorite characters, and now I felt like I was going to be playing a droid version of Boba Fett, and so I was so freaking excited. And then they started putting the costume on me, and I just they handed me a pistol, and I started walking around the office as if I was menacingly staring at people. I wasn't put this down. I was just looking at people as I walk through the studio, and that actually really helped bring him to life, because I was trying to, how I know what this guy looks like, but how would he feel as a character? So no, I love collecting artwork. I'm actually I'm also a graphic artist, so I like
I did not know that. I like
to do my own drawings of these characters as well. And so I just do these while I'm sitting at the table at that's not great, at the conventions.
So let me ask you, are these drawings for sale? Can people buy them at the convention?
I'm bringing some. I'm bringing some. All of them are for sale. I'm bringing what are they called? Coasters, round coasters that are all going to be original artwork.
Okay.
And so they'll be like these, but they're kind of an off-white. They're not this dark, but anyway, there'll be artwork like this on them. And yeah, people can buy them. They want to buy sets, but all of them are original. So every single one is one of a kind. And so I'll have those with me at Rhode Island.
Now, did you do that at Colorado? I don't remember that.
I didn't do coasters. I just did these. I just did little index cards like these.
Okay.
And so these are just a couple of them, but I have a stack of them. But I think what's cool about it is that it's an original thing that, I also sign them too, but it's something that someone made, it's not a print. It's something that someone with their own hands made. And I love, making stuff. My regular job is I'm an art director in video games, and so everything I make is just on a screen. So I don't, you never get to hold the thing that you make every single day for 15 years, and so anyway, I just always have made, built my own stuff or drawn or created things. And that's something I try to inspire my kids, to make something that when you're not, when you're gone or when you're not here, there's something that's left behind that you made, and that's what I love about the shows, because we're building stuff and telling stories that will, last a long time, hopefully. And so it's all, making is such an important part of life.
Wow, that is hip. I mean, that is some
Being
super
a creator,
hip.
being a maker. Yeah.
Yeah, that is some super hip philosophy from a galaxy far, far away. You just open up a brand new doorway here. Speaking about video games, can you talk about some of the video games that you worked on?
Yeah, my first gig was on Gears of War, the very first one.
Whoa! Are you serious?
Yeah, so I worked on the first 4 Gears of War games. I worked at Epic Games in North Carolina. I started on Gears of War when it was still a Vietnam era.
I'm going to pull back the screen and show you my Marcus Phoenix statue.
Oh, cool. Yes.
Dude,
yeah.
Oh my God. I just got goosebumps. Holy, please, let's... Yeah. And part 2 of this interview will be next week, as long as Chris is not busy, and we will be talking, forget the galaxy far, far away, we're going to be talking cogs.
Oh, wow. Great. I would love it.
Dude, let's go. Keep going.
I also worked on 2 of the Tomb Raider reboots. So I worked at Crystal Dynamics on Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And then
I'm going to go... You are like my new best friend.
Then I worked on most recently on Modern Warfare and Warzone, where
You lost me.
Oh, okay. On Call of Duty. Sorry, Call of Duty.
You lost me.
Modern Warfare.
I can't do first person. I can't. First person.
Yeah, I like third person too.
Yeah, first person. I get. I can't. It's like motion sickness. Makes sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I need to have over the shoulder, or I need to see. I need third person or over the shoulder.
But there's a whole huge fan base of first person shooters as well, and so Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone, I worked on that for 3 years and shipped that one too. And it is very hard work. I mean, I think some people think that we play video games all day, but someone actually has to make the games, and making the games is very, very, can be very long hours. I had a couch in my office where sometimes I had to sleep overnight, and it's a lot of hours. But anyway, in the end, when you make something that people, I love making entertainment, I love making things that players or audiences can be engaged in, like, oh, I can't wait to finish what I have to do so I can get over to do the thing I want to do, whether it's TV shows and characters or whether it's video games. And so now I'm working on a new project for Kaiju Studios that is another first-person shooter that is brand new. It's really a cool project. So
okay.
Anyway,
all right. So Gears of War. Who is your ideal casting? You are an actor. You worked on Gears of War, the video game.
Yeah.
You are casting director. We are going to make, you and I, okay? Angry Geeks, we are making a live action.
Yes.
We are making a live action Gears of War.
Okay.
Who are we casting? You are casting director. Who are we casting as Marcus Phoenix?
Oh man, Marcus Phoenix. Let's see. His voice is so iconic.
Isn't it? Isn't it though?
Right.
And I have the look. The person I want in my head is actually lobbying to be the character.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
the voice, John DiMaggio, his voice is so iconic as,
Mhm.
and actually you sound very close to Marcus
That's
Phoenix.
because I do the Macho Man imitation, brother. You know, we're going to talk about that
Yes,
later on.
right.
You know, tower of power, too sweet to be sour. Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So if you say, if you were to say, Dom, get in there.
Dom, get in there.
Yeah. See, you sound really close to Marcus Phoenix. Maybe we'll just cast.
I'm not that big though. No.
That's okay. That's why we put pile armor on top of them and everything.
Dude, I got to introduce you at Rhode Island. I am going to introduce you to a great friend of mine. He is a cosplay guest at Rhode Island. His name is Raymond Ramos. He and Jamie and Matches Malone, three of the best cosplayers in New England. They are the ones who inspired me to do the Macho Man cosplay. Raymond made a cyborg cosplay that can also be a Marcus Phoenix cosplay. And dude,
Cyborg.
Yes. Cyborg from the Justice League. His chest plate, as he was building it, was almost a cog.
Oh, that's funny.
It's off the hook. I'll text you a picture of it. It's just unbelievable.
Love to see it. Yeah.
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 So who would you cast?
Oh my gosh.
We're running close on our hour, and I gotta let you go. But now you just open up this doorway.
We'll have to come back to this because I have so many more things to talk about.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll have to come back to this.
All right, definitely.
Video game stuff, but yeah. So back to on the show. There's a little thing I was going to share with you, just like what goes into trying to make a character.
Please,
you know, realize a character, and that is, you know, you have a costume, and you have writing. You have a person who can go step into the costume. But how do you make that character feel like a real character, not just a person in a costume? And this is what I, as a costumer before we called them cosplayers, where that's what I always tried to do. Like if I'm Boba Fett at a convention and I'm just walking around, I want people to wonder, is that someone, is that like, could that be something from Lucasfilm, or like, are they promoting something or whatever? Because that feels like a real character. And so that's what I would do as a costumer, but that's also what I do for in the show. And so for Zero, I think I can't remember, we talked about this before about how he looks like a praying mantis. Did we talk about that?
I think we did in private at Colorado, not on stage. I think we did.
Maybe we can save some of that for the panel. But anyway, that really inspired my my treatment of that character, and realizing that character is that what if he was a mechanized praying mantis, and how would he approach, you know, prey, or how would he approach enemies? How would he move and things like that? And so I went home and watched a bunch of videos on praying mantis insects, and tried to model my movement after him. One of those things is that, you know, they hold their head still while the rest of their body is doing things, you know, kind of like a chicken does. But anyway, that's how I just did a bunch of research how to make him feel like that. And so you'll see that when you first see Zero and he comes down the ramp out of the Razor Crest after doing inspection, and you'll see that I'm not looking where I'm walking, because that would be very human. I changed it so that I was just looking at the other cast or the other members of my crew as I was walking down. So you have to go back and watch that scene. That was a decision, my own decision or choice, because I figured that maybe a droid wouldn't need to look where his feet are going, even though I was terrified I was going to slip down the ramp and, you know, land on my back or whatever. But I thought, you know, this character probably has sensors or something, like he knows where he's walking, so he doesn't need to look down at his feet. And so I just kept doing it and just praying I wasn't going to slip and fall. And I was just, as I got down to the ramp, okay, I feel that's the bottom. Okay, keep walking. But it makes him feel more like less human, and that's the idea, is that he's a droid. But yeah, it's little things like that. Other things is movement, like he snaps his head when he's looking for things. He's not like looking around like a human would. And so there are real choices that an actor makes to make the performance come through the costume to the audience, and that's why I love doing that.
Wow. Thank you for your time. Before we wrap up, please tell everyone where they can find you on social media to get your followers up. Where can they find you?
Okay. You can find me on Instagram at Chris F. Bartlett, and also Twitter. I'm there as well, and also TikTok. But I usually post most of my stuff on Instagram. So all of them have the same handle, Chris F. Bartlett. And so you can find me there. I would love to see you there. And also, like I said, I'd love to see your costumes, and I'll post them there. One guy from FanX in Salt Lake, that video just hit 7 million views on
I
Instagram.
Seen that this morning.
So if you want to see more cosplay, really cool cosplay, it's all stuff that I shoot myself. Come to my account on Instagram, but also come to our table, the Mandalorian table, in costume, and I'll post it up there, and I'll tag you in it, and because I really love showcasing the fans and their builds.
And a quick shout out to Rhode Island Comic Con, November 5th, 6th, and 7th. Stop by, see Chris, take a picture, have him take a picture of you, buy some of his artwork, get a picture with him for sure, get an autograph, and you can have celebrity photos as well. Come to the Mandalorian panel, and don't forget, come to the Angrygeeks Show live panel. We're going to have games. We're going to have our live draw off, and this week, I drop an open challenge. All you artists in Artist Alley, the champ is waiting. Just wait. I am Lewis for Jamie. That's Chris. Come to Rhode Island Comic Con and see us. We are out. Stay safe, Rhode Island.
This has been an Earplug Podcast presentation. Found on earplugpodcast.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever your favorite podcasts are found.